Hey guys, my name is your boy MKS. This is part 2 of my videos on 30 of my dreams for Celtic. If you haven't checked out please do so. Really appreciate your support. As I said before, any money, if you do make any money of this video at all, at any time, including in the future, of course, it will all go towards the club. But I hope to encourage the club to buy new players. I mean, I suppose I'm hoping for a lot of views and a lot of support, and like if I can look at supporting sponsors of Celtic, but hopefully more we mention Celtic and sponsorship and all that. More we mention Celtic, the brand value will go up. Perhaps, I don't know if that's how it works. As I say, the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. So sorry about that. Constant runny nose, but it'd be a relief one day if my nose wasn't running. So anyway, sorry. Yeah, getting on with the list, which I want to carry on. Hopefully, I'll remember all my points. But yeah, I talked about tax exemptions and all that. And anywho, I'm just going to try and get on to point 11. From 11 to 20. Point 11. I hope to change some of the negative perceptions, adverse perceptions of the Celtic, like links to the IRA or violence or things that the rival club, dare say Rangers, dare mention their name, accuse of us often, to prove those things aren't true, to make sure we operate within the law. I don't think Celtic fans should join the military, or I think we should look at, like, I think it would be great if we could lobby to not pay our taxes towards the military as well. But I think I talked about that in some of my other videos about having more choice. I love people to have choice generally of where the tax money goes, and hopefully Celtic fans obviously wouldn't give our tax money to things like the Royals or the military or certain things, given the history of obviously Celtic being an Irish immigrant club. So it would be great if we had more choice of where our tax money go and support developing countries, and also support Ireland, obviously with the roots from Ireland, and have that be able to save more tax money. But that's my opinion. I love to see Celtic fans. I know a lot of people said I'm very naive to believe we can do that or it's illegal, but if we can lobby to do it and we can find out ways to do it, I think it would be great. Certainly, anyway, I'm talking about my dreams here. It's probably a very dreamy, if that's the right word. It's dream-driven, dream-like point of view. But anyway, 12, I'd love Celtic to do like fundraising games for like animal rights, anti-bullying, which it does do anyway. But like even share ideas about doing stuff for animal rights and stuff like that. And to continue with lots of that work, like sleep outs and things like that. And as I say, to build networks and connections with the rest of the world and showing good values and things like that. 13. I'm not a Catholic, but maybe Celtic with its Catholic roots could have sort of Catholic football matches or something like that, tournaments, or could you have Catholic fans maybe? And like I thought, like Rangers often say, like no Pope of Rome, I think it is, or stuff like that. And they sing against Catholics, but I thought it'd be quite interesting if Celtic played friendly matches with Roma and stuff like that, and that Roma fans became friends with Celtic and things like that, and vice versa, of course. But generally, I love it to Celtic to get on with all the Italian teams and vice versa, like say Forza Celtic and Italian Celts and things like that. And just, I know Italian clubs, I'd love to see them more united with each other. But anyway, that's on a different note. But that sort of thing. And 14. I dream for Celtic to like fundraise more for people in developing countries to like help solve their problems with global warming and stuff like that. Again, to have tax incentives or things like that, and also fans to come together to tackle problems like homelessness, climate change, global warming, and stuff like that. And yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, so to solve problems around the world. Point number 15. Yeah, I hope Celtic to have like a united fan base that works together towards shared goal of wanting Celtic to be the top. And yeah, Celtic fans to practice playing football to become top, and I think that's the main thing. Like Celtic to be a top team. I also hope to, as I say, have good ethics, non-violence, and things like that. As I say, it might be a pipe dream, but I thought I'd share my biggest dreams. 16. Yeah, again, I hope to have YouTube videos like this, which hopefully, if they're monetized, will raise funds for the club. Maybe like share ideas other people wouldn't have thought about. Like, so for instance, if someone's got a YouTube channel and they're a Celtic fan, and they make money from other sources or whatever, or they make enough money to get by, and they think I don't really need the extra money, they could donate it to the club. So as many donations to the club as possible. Again, I dream for it to be tax exempt, because I don't agree with, partly at least because I'd love the club to have more money to invest in more players. Another thing I think would be ironic, considering what happened to Rangers, where they illegally evaded tax, as far as I'm aware. That's what the case said. They would probably, some of their fans would dispute it, and partly because I don't agree with it morally with a lot of the things that tax is spent on, like wars, invading countries like Iraq, the imperial invasions throughout history, what militarism represents, and things like that. So that's another reason why I wouldn't want to. I'd want Celtic to be tax exempt personally, but again, I'm just sharing my dreams. I really hope, and maybe people say, "Oh, maybe that is a good idea after all." And we can look at tax advisors as well, and look at how, as a charity, and in terms of doing charitable work, at least if we're using that tax money to invest in football pitches, football facilities, and all that for the disadvantaged and disengaged youth in Glasgow, a deprived area of the UK, then at least I think it could always be argued that we're doing good with the money anyway. 17. I can imagine if we could have all possible fundraising ways to raise funds for Celtic and buy some great players, continue to play attacking football, and develop young players, and just win as many trophies domestically as we can as well, and just be as big as possible. I'd love to imagine if we had billions of fans around the world, if not as a first team, at least as a second team. So to have as many fans as possible from Africa, just like Man United does, and as many as possible from Asia and indigenous communities and things like that. 18, again, I hope the club will have positive values about helping others, and which I think it does. It seems to do a lot of that with like sleep outs for charity for the homeless, raising money for people with illnesses, diseases and disabilities around the world. And I'd love to see more. I'd love to see us, as I say, as a fan, do more for people across, as I say, in parts of Africa, Asia, indigenous communities, Aboriginal communities, Native American communities, tribal groups that are struggling, to fundraise for those groups to help them, and just to support them as much as we can. Point 19. I say I love Celtic to not win just 10 in a row, but maybe even like 20 or 30 in a row. I know that's quite a big demand, but yeah, I think it would be great if 20 could do so. 20, again, just to win as many trophies as we can and get as many fans as we can around the world, and to raise funds for like animal rights, supporting disabled people around the world and things like that. And I mean, one of the things that I didn't know if I should mention this or not, but perhaps I should address the issue. But a lot of what Rangers fans accuse Celtic of as a club is like, because of the Catholic connection as well, and for whatever other reason, they accuse Celtic of being supporters of the IRA, and also like of, to put it politely, they accuse Celtic of child abuse or something like that, which I hope is not true, generally speaking anyway, and certainly not from the majority of Celtic fans. So I think it's really important as a club to show that that's not actually going on, to make sure child protection is of utmost importance, and certainly, so that it's adhered to at the club, again, to make sure it's legal, to make sure the club acts legally, and doesn't cause trouble in other countries as well, and things like that. So I think about moral values. So I hope this video makes sense. But yeah, I think it's really important to make sure there's child protection, and to take away any links, or to take away accusations of links to extreme groups or things like the IRA or anything like that. And I'm sure that hopefully the majority of Celtic fans have nothing to do with the IRA or things like that, or anything, or illegal activity, I would hope. But I think the minority that are, like, as a club, to perhaps come out and condemn any illegal activity or things like that. So I hope that made sense. I know it's a controversial issue to talk about, but I think it's really important to address it. Anyway, I'm going to walk my dog, and then I'm hopefully going to do part 3, all being well. In fact, while I've got the house to myself, I might make part 3 soon. Okay, anyway, peace and love.